postpone the whole process. Of course, wherever they are, their wish has already been granted, and due to the time, if at all, by 3, most of the polling centers had not started voting. Then, of course, by now, if at all is not that cancellation, then we'll be seeing queues of voters still eager to cast their vote. But we'll still be looking for most of those aspirants, because I know before the party decides when this repeat will be done, they'll continue being on the ground campaigning. Betty.
Very much, Chris Thairu, for that. He's reporting from Kiambu. We now want to cross over to Murunga, which was one of the counties in which voting got off to a slow start. However, the process picked up in earnest later on in the day. Sophia Wanuna now joins me from the ground. Sophia, thank you very much for joining us. Now, does this nullification come as a shock to the residents and to the aspirants? Going by the events of the day, at least for some of the polling stations there, the voting went on smoothly.
Indeed, Betty, a very good evening to you. We're coming to you live from the Murunga Teachers College. And this, at this hour, would have been a beehive of activities had things gone as planned. But due to that total recall of the entire primary exercise by the Jubilee Party, tonight it's a quiet night. And of course, as you said, perhaps for some, it's encouragement going forward, because we spoke to a number of voters today going and traversing around some of the constituencies in this county, some who did not find their names in the voters' register. So perhaps this offers a second chance for them to be able to participate in the primaries. And also the question of the ballot papers. A lot of the electorate today complaining, as we've been covering all day, saying they were not sufficient. And so the Jubilee Party coming out, owning up to some of those mistakes, they say, and they will be regrouping to perhaps redo this again. But joining us this evening here at the Murunga Teachers College is Sabina Chege, who's the woman rep. She's seeking to retain that position. And let me ask you this. Are you disappointed? Because in terms of the polls you are leading, it showed that you are going to easily retain your seat. So what does this mean for you, the recall?
Well, we are quite disappointed, because we were hoping by tonight, by 2 a.m., that we are going to be confirmed again as the women rep Murunga County, and I was to retain my seat. The indications were very good. But since morning, there were signs that this is not going to happen. Because in the morning we had already dispatched our agents, and it's good to mention that I had over 2,000 agents on the ground, and they were meant to be there by 5 in the morning. And of course, then when we started conversing, nothing was happening. And by the time we got to 8, 9, and 10 in the morning, and the ballot papers were not there, so we started getting worried. Actually, I casted my vote at around 4 p.m. because I had to make sure that everybody was comfortable. But again, we had to debate with them when they said the ballot papers that came in were not sufficient. And we were hoping, then we spoke with the Jubilee head office. They had assured us that there were some choppers that were to come. And of course, the big question was, if the choppers were to bring even the ballot papers, where were they in the first place? Why didn't they dispatch the ballot papers earlier? And so it was quite disappointing, but it's okay. This is our party. Would like everything to go on well. I will tell you, my home backyard, my own home, where there were almost 1,400 registered voters, only 400 ballot papers were available, and so many people were disappointed. By the time they were told to go home, though of course this is your stronghold, you need to get all the votes, and so it was not good at all.
Let me ask you this very briefly, because coming here we spoke to some of those voters, asking them if then there's another primary, of course, organized very quickly, will they be coming up to vote after the frustrations of today? Are you concerned about apathy?
Yes, we are, but for us, we want to tell them it's not over until it's over, and it's always good for them to come back again. I know for my supporters, I'm pleading with them. I'll be meeting several of them tomorrow, and we just want to tell them it is not done. Let's treat this like it was a mock examination where we have to do our main paper, be it on Tuesday or Wednesday. We should come out and confirm to Kenyans that Jubilee is a strong party, but mainly support your candidate and support the person that you'd love them to continue working for you. Yes.
All right. Many thanks. Sabina Chege, woman rep here in Murunga County. And as we said, Betty, even as you were handing over, saying that this is a county throughout the day, as we covered it with my colleague Matambo Lofty, in terms of the voting, peaceful, no drama, no chaos. Largely, we saw the queues and people turning up and the exercise going on. So many disappointed, but also those that perhaps will see this as a lifeline